What his team is trying to do is get the public to assume that the government is leaking some of this negative information about him, like that Cassie video. But the reality is, he's got a lot of enemies.
This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly.
Imagine this. The once glamorous, larger-than-life Shade Diddy sits in a packed courtroom, his head bowed. A stark contrast to the confident figure seen on countless red carpets. The man who built an empire on music and luxury now finds himself at the center of a shocking scandal. But the real story isn't just about him. It's about his daughters, D'Lila, Chance, and Jessie, who, after years of silence, finally found their voices in the most dramatic way. The courtroom became the stage for their long-buried pain, a stage they never wanted but could no longer avoid.
A U.S. judge has ruled that the rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs will stand trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges in May. He'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire to transport women and male workers across state lines to take part in recorded performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence.
The tension in the courtroom was thick. Lawyers shuffled papers, reporters whispered updates into their phones, and the gallery was packed with onlookers, all eager to catch a glimpse of the fallen mogul. This wasn't just another celebrity trial, it was a spectacle. Once known for his extravagant parties, luxury, and unshakable confidence, Diddy now looked like a shadow of his former self. The sharp designer suits were gone, replaced by a plain, standard-issue jumpsuit. His once charismatic face was tired and lined with worry. Shoulders hunched, he sat in silence, as if the weight of his own choices was finally pressing down on him. But if his appearance was shocking, what happened next was heartbreaking. His daughters, D'Lila, Chance, and Jessie, who had long remained out of the public eye, broke their silence in the most emotional way. Unlike their brothers, Justin and Christian, who had embraced the spotlight, the sisters had lived quietly, almost unseen. Now it was painfully clear why. As their voices trembled, tears fell, and emotions overflowed, the courtroom transformed into a place of raw, unfiltered pain. This was more than a legal battle or a scandal. It was years of buried wounds, secrets, and the heavy toll of growing up in the shadow of their father's empire.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
The daughter's absence at Diddy's side during the hearing spoke volumes. While Justin and Christian sat stoically near their father, whether out of loyalty or fear of the consequences of stepping away, the daughters were nowhere to be seen. Their decision to stay away wasn't just practical, it was a powerful statement, a silent scream of defiance. Rumors swirled that they were considering filing for legal emancipation, a drastic move that would sever their ties to the man who had shaped so much of their lives. The very idea of it sent shockwaves through the courtroom, adding another layer of tension to an already charged atmosphere. More than just a legal action, emancipation would be a declaration, a rejection of a legacy they found suffocating. As the hearing continued, another name loomed over the proceedings, Kim Porter. Diddy's longtime partner and the mother of his children, her presence was felt like a ghost in the room. Her sudden and tragic passing in 2018 had been ruled as complications from pneumonia, but speculation had never faded. Over the years, whispers of foul play, cover-ups, and hidden truths had only grown louder. Now, those whispers had turned into roars. Amplified by the daughter's emotional testimony and the weight of new allegations, the trial was no longer just about Diddy, it was about a past that refused to stay buried.
Well, Kim Porter, that is Diddy's ex, who's also the mother of his 3 of his children,
Right.
has detailed the alleged abuse that she suffered at his hands.
Oh, no.
And this is all in a memoir.
Kim's death was, in many ways, the breaking point for her daughters. She had been their source of warmth and stability, something they often lacked from their father. Losing her was devastating, but the lingering questions surrounding her final days made it even harder to bear. Official reports described only mild symptoms in the days leading up to her passing, nothing that suggested such a sudden and shocking decline. Just days before, Kim had reportedly been in good spirits, even undergoing a routine medical checkup that found no serious health concerns. Yet within a week, she was gone, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a family shattered by grief. Adding to the mystery were the strange circumstances surrounding her personal belongings. Her laptop and cell phone, Devices that likely held personal notes, photos, and key details about her life vanished without explanation. Their disappearance wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a red flag, raising suspicions that someone may have been trying to erase evidence to bury the truth of what really happened. Her daughters, who had spent their lives witnessing the complexities of their parents' relationship, were left to wonder, was their mother's death truly natural, as claimed, or was it the result of something far more sinister?
You know what I'm saying? Just with this Cassie thing, I didn't know her, but I knew somebody like her, and that was Kim Porter. I didn't know Cassie, but I knew somebody who was going through the same thing she was going through, and that was Kim Porter.
Adding fuel to the fire was a leaked memoir, supposedly written by Kim before her untimely passing. While its authenticity remained a topic of heated debate, its contents were explosive. In the memoir, Kim allegedly described years of emotional manipulation, control, and even outright hostility from Diddy. It painted a stark picture of a relationship that, while glamorous on the surface, was toxic and turbulent behind closed doors. The man the world saw, charming, confident, larger than life, was, according to her words, far different in private. Whether real or fabricated, the memoir's existence alone was enough to reignite suspicions, casting an even darker shadow over the courtroom proceedings.
And it's like, it was the same thing Kim was going through. The same thing, bro. Kim was going through the same thing. The beatings, you know what I'm saying?
For the daughters, the memoir and the lingering questions about their mother's death were the final straws. They had spent their lives caught in the crossfire of their parents' turbulent relationship, witnessing dynamics no child should ever have to endure. To outsiders, growing up in luxury may have seemed like a dream, but for them, it came at a steep emotional cost. Their emotional breakdown in court wasn't just about the current legal battle. It was the result of a lifetime of suppressed pain, confusion, and heartbreak finally coming to the surface. As the courtroom drama unfolded, the cracks in the Combs family facade grew wider. Diddy's once carefully controlled public image was slipping, and his daughter's actions only underscored the deepening divide. Their possible move toward emancipation wasn't just a legal step, it was a symbolic rejection of the legacy their father had built. It was a statement that they would no longer remain silent, no longer play a role in upholding a narrative that had caused them so much pain.
Do I think yes? Every man possibly is capable. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, what makes him. That's just the selfishness that make you be like that.
The sons, meanwhile, seemed to be fighting their own battles. Justin and Christian's decision to sit by their father's side signaled loyalty, but it also raised questions about the pressures they might be facing. Were they there out of genuine support, or were they simply playing their roles in a family dynamic that demanded unwavering allegiance? The contrast between the sons and daughters was striking, exposing the deep complexities within the Combs family. As the courtroom drama played out, it became more than just a legal fight. It was a battleground for public perception. Every tear shed, every emotional outburst, and every whispered allegation added to the growing spectacle. The media frenzy was relentless, with headlines dissecting every moment and commentators speculating on what might come next. But at the heart of it all was something far greater than a scandal. It was a family unraveling before the world's eyes. The daughter's emotional collapse became a symbol of something much bigger. A legacy in question, relationships in ruins, and a man who, despite his wealth and power, seemed completely powerless to stop the fallout.
So it's just another form to silence a man, humble a person. You know how sometimes you gotta humble somebody?
You're right.
Yeah, I think he's being humbled right. Which it took a long time. It takes a long time to humble an arrogant person.
As the day's proceedings came to an end, one thing was undeniable. The daughters' voices, once silenced, could no longer be ignored. Their emotional breakdown wasn't just a moment of pain, it was a turning point. It was their declaration that they would no longer be overshadowed, no longer stay silent, and no longer be pawns in a game they never chose to play. Their actions sent a powerful message, not just to their father, but to the world. The truth, no matter how painful, would no longer be buried. But what if this courtroom drama wasn't just about legal battles or family conflicts? What if it was merely the tip of the iceberg? A tangled web of secrets spanning decades, filled with whispers of betrayal, manipulation, and control. The daughter's breakdown may have been the most visible crack in the surface, but beneath it lay a sea of unanswered questions, mysterious disappearances, and an empire built on power and silence. It wasn't just a courtroom. It was the stage for a reckoning that had been a long time coming.
Person that really put their hands on women, really people who have, men who have feminine traits. So, it really takes a coward to put his hands on a woman. So, a man is so strong enough, we can just walk away. You can do, there's so many different things that you can do other than get upset, put your hands on a woman. But that comes from a man who's not quite a grown man.
At the heart of it all was Kim Porter, a name once synonymous with grace, beauty, and strength, now entwined with a mystery that refuses to fade. As new details about her final days surfaced, the courtroom audience couldn't ignore the chilling coincidences. It wasn't just the missing devices or the rushed explanations. It was the growing, unsettling sense that Kim's passing may have been far more calculated than anyone wanted to believe. Rumors swirled about a flash drive, allegedly left behind by Kim before her death. Said to have been passed along by anonymous sources within the music industry, the drive reportedly contained damning evidence, notes, recordings, and even videos that could expose the darker side of her relationship with Diddy. While its existence remains unverified, the very idea of it has already ignited a media firestorm. Leaked excerpts from her supposed memoir, a raw, emotional account of her struggles, paint a troubling picture of a life lived under constant scrutiny and control. If even a fraction of these claims is true, then the narrative surrounding Kim's life, and possibly her death, could change forever.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopped.
We've heard about the tapes, but the shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
Then there was the bizarre leaked phone call between Diddy and his son Justin, a conversation that on the surface seemed harmless, even mundane. Diddy mentioned pizza boxes, a phrase that could have easily been dismissed as casual small talk. But for those familiar with the whispers surrounding his private life, this was anything but innocent. Insiders alleged that pizza boxes was a coded reference, shorthand for something far more incriminating. It was said to refer to a stash of highly sensitive items hidden in one of his Miami properties, items that could include everything from handwritten notebooks detailing his private dealings to objects allegedly linking him to years of questionable behavior. The urgency in Diddy's voice during the call, his insistence that Justin take care of it, left little doubt this wasn't just a father checking in with his son. This was a man scrambling to erase a trail before it was too late.
It sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home.
Okay.
A home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping.
The leaked audio sent shockwaves through the courtroom and beyond. It wasn't just the content of the call that raised eyebrows. It was the sheer brazenness of it. Here was a man who had spent decades crafting an untouchable empire, now seemingly reduced to frantic attempts to erase evidence. What was he so desperate to hide? And why had so many people around him chosen to look the other way? As federal prosecutors laid out their case, the scope of the accusations became clearer and far more troubling. According to their claims, this wasn't just about one man's alleged misconduct. It was about a carefully orchestrated pattern that had spanned years, involving a network of enablers who either facilitated or ignored the warning signs. Investigators revealed that during a raid on one of Diddy's properties, they uncovered a trove of damning materials. Among them were stacks of receipts, handwritten notes, and a collection of video recordings prosecutors described as compelling evidence. But perhaps the most chilling discovery was a stash of items seemingly designed for manipulation, tools that could be used to control, coerce, or intimidate. The message was clear: this wasn't just a scandal. It was an empire built on power, secrecy, and fear.
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs, this one has so many people talking, the disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
Diddy's legal team has been relentless in pushing back against these claims. They argue that the search warrants used to obtain evidence were flawed, that the raids were intrusive, possibly even illegal. Their objective is clear: discredit the prosecution's case at every turn and suppress as much evidence as possible. But to many watching the trial unfold, these legal maneuvers feel like little more than a distraction, an attempt to shift focus away from the mounting allegations. And then there's Diddy's inner circle. For years, he surrounded himself with a tight-knit group of advisors, employees, and associates, many of whom now find themselves entangled in the unfolding scandal. Some have been accused of actively facilitating his alleged misconduct, while others are said to have turned a blind eye. Now, their unwavering loyalty is being put to the ultimate test as prosecutors dig deeper into their roles and motivations. Were they complicit out of fear, devotion, or greed? Or did they truly believe they were doing nothing wrong? As the investigation continues, one thing is becoming increasingly clear: the walls around Diddy's empire are beginning to crumble.
Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
The daughter's emotional collapse in court only heightened the mounting tension. For them, this trial wasn't just about legal battles. It was the culmination of years spent in an environment where power and control overshadowed love and respect. Their tears weren't just a response to the courtroom drama. They were the release of a lifetime of suppressed pain. Their potential move toward emancipation speaks volumes about the depth of their disillusionment and the fractures within the family. But the daughters aren't the only ones grappling with the fallout. Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, also find themselves in an increasingly precarious position. Their decision to stand by their father has drawn both admiration and criticism. On one hand, their loyalty is seen as a testament to their familial bond. On the other, many question whether their presence is an act of genuine support or a calculated move to safeguard their own interests. After all, they too have benefited from the empire their father built, a legacy now at risk of crumbling before their eyes.
This is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail cell right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing and the weight of the federal government.
As the courtroom drama continues to unfold, it's becoming evident that this case isn't just about one man's alleged actions. It's about the ripple effects those actions have had on everyone around him. His family, his employees, and even his fans are now caught in the fallout. The trial has become a mirror, reflecting the complexities and contradictions of a man who was once idolized but is now facing the consequences of his choices. For the daughters, this trial is more than a legal battle. It's an opportunity to reclaim their own narrative. By breaking their silence, they have taken the first step in challenging the long-standing version of events presented to the public. No longer mere bystanders in their father's story, they have become active participants in their own. And while the road ahead will be fraught with challenges, their decision to speak out has already sent a powerful message. As the proceedings continue, one thing is certain: the truth will eventually come to light. Whether it confirms the allegations or exonerates Diddy, it will forever alter the way he is perceived. The once untouchable mogul now finds himself vulnerable, his carefully curated image cracking under the weight of scrutiny. And as more details emerge, the public will be forced to confront the complex legacy of a man both revered and reviled.
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. How long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come, within the next 2 years?
The courtroom may be the stage for this unfolding drama, but the real battle is taking place in the hearts and minds of those closest to Diddy. For his daughters, his sons, and everyone caught in the crossfire, this trial is about more than just legal arguments. It's about seeking closure, demanding accountability, and finding a way to move forward. As the world watches, one pressing question remains: will justice be served, or will the tangled web of secrets and lies prove too complex to unravel? With each new revelation, the case grows more intricate, sparking deeper debates and controversy. Was the daughter's emotional breakdown a genuine cry for help or a strategic move to sway public opinion? And what about the mysterious circumstances surrounding Kim Porter's passing? Could there be more to the story than what has been revealed? The search for answers continues, and the conversation is far from over. What do you think? Share your thoughts and join the discussion as we delve deeper into this captivating saga. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and revelations.